Welcome back to another episode of Collector's Quest. I'm Tyler, here with Johnny. Johnny, what's going on?
I don't know, Tyler. I'm not to talk. That's what you told me.
What? This is our second attempt at starting this episode, but the first attempt was entirely talking about our Midwest travel plans, which the 1,000 or so people who listen to this podcast don't really care about. But we'll see you guys at MGC. It'll be fun.
Yeah.
Johnny, I'm concerned that video games are never getting better, which is...
Well, do you want to qualify that?
Okay. I'm concerned that the graphics and hardware that we play video games on are never getting better, which is not in itself a real big problem, but it is interesting how it used to be every 5 years, like, video games were unrecognizable from what they were 5 years ago, and we have more than plateaued at this point.
Well, I mean, I think there's a few reasons for that right now. Everything going on in the realm of computers is so AI focused, and like, is there resources even for development of things that would make games better? And is the cost so, like, a PlayStation is $900 or whatever now?
A PlayStation is $900. That has never happened. A video game console has never increased in price by 30% in the middle of its production run. Like,
no,
years into its production run.
Here's how, in case people don't know and aren't aware, as an old man who's been around a long time, let me tell you how it goes. A console releases at a high price and everyone is excited. Years pass, and then the price goes down because people are not as excited for it. Sony's like, fuck that noise. Let's jack that price up. This is crazy.
There are numerous issues compounding here in terms of how long video games last and video game pricing and stuff. So, one, yes, we could blame the AI bubble and all that. There's no hardware to go around. I don't know who's paying $900 for a PS5, but that's the new price. Even like the digital version went from $400 to $600. It's a 50% increase in price on a console where every game you buy is like pure profit. Because there's no manufacturing.
What about Steam? Did the Steam Deck go up in price?
No, but they did delay the Steam, the home console, whatever it's called, Steam machine. Okay. Probably because they there's the Steam Deck is, it's completely out of stock right now. Whew. Things are weird in the video game world.
Do people even care?
I will say I bought a used stick of RAM recently. It's the first time in my life I bought a used stick of RAM. It was like $100 because I had one of my 4 sticks of RAM in my PC die, and I looked at the new prices, and it was going to cost me like $300 for like a 16 or 32 gigabyte stick of RAM or something. It was like ridiculous.
Yeah.
I had an SSD just fail in my server. It's a 4 terabyte SSD. It's like $400. I can't handle the prices of computer hardware right now.
This is too much. This is too much money to spend on these things.
So on top of console prices increasing, video game prices don't decrease nearly as much anymore. And I'm not just talking about, Tyler complains that the Steam sales aren't as good as they were in 2010, which they aren't. But think of the amount of physical games. Why did games used to go from $50 down to the $10 bin in GameStop? It's because
abundance.
Everybody had the physical games and we all just threw them away and bought the new games. But when instead of throwing them away into the used market, now they just rot in our digital libraries that no one resells. They're selling us the same games as remakes and they're charging $70 for them still.
Well, and there's also just less games to go around. So, you're forced into the ecosystem. You're either going to go digital, you're either going to sign up for one of their services, or you're going to pay $70 a game now.
So everyone who is like, we need to hold on to physical media, otherwise they're going to take advantage of us in this all digital landscape. It's here, man. Like, video games don't go down in price anymore. They're just the price forever.
Yep. There's, I don't know. we've long since warned that this is the reality that's coming. I've been a doomsayer about this for a long time, Tyler.
Yeah. I mean, I'm kind of lucky because I don't really play modern video games. And if you go and you buy like really old stuff on like Steam and GOG, like you could still get like those 75% off deals on a lot. Like you can go get Roller Coaster Tycoon 2 and Harvester for a couple bucks, which is all you need. You don't need the latest, greatest $70 Souls-like. But for people who are on top of that, I don't know how you guys are affording it, honestly.
I don't know. We're now in the world of you will own nothing and be happy.
The Steam hardware survey also came out, and this just kind of goes into how video games aren't getting better in terms of graphics anytime soon, which that is kind of like a good thing because that also means you don't need to upgrade your PC, and that $900 PS5 will probably last you at least a while. The most popular GPU on Steam is an RTX 3060, which is like a mid-range 6-year-old GPU. And I don't know what it typically is, but I don't think that most like PC gamers on the cutting edge, I don't think that would have been the most popular GPU, like a 6-year-old mid-range GPU, like say 10 years ago. The flagship has been out for 1.5 years, the RTX 5090, and it has a 0.4% market share. There has to be some stereotype of like, oh, the PC gamer has this tricked out $3,000 computer. Fucking an RTX 5090 alone costs like $4,000 or $5,000, I think. Like, gamers can't even afford to game anymore.
But if games aren't getting any better, they won't need to. Is that problem solved?
I'm hoping that problem's solved because I don't want to upgrade my computer anymore at these prices. Like, I'm hoping that indie games are just like, all right, this level of hardware. So everyone, like, we're kind of averaging out around like 2020. Like, pandemic is when people are like, all right, we're done upgrading our computer. If we just lock in the hardware around 2020, I'm okay with that. I don't even think games with realistic graphics look good. I tried to play this survival crafting game Icarus, and it's got like this beautiful Unreal Engine 5 like forests and stuff, and it's just like too much graphics. It hurts my eyes to look at. It could be because I'm an old man, but just like give me Minecraft. I could look at Minecraft and it's super easy for me to see everything that's going on because Minecraft has like no graphics.
Okay. And so you just want things to look old.
Yeah. There are too many graphics now, so I think it's a good thing that we've hit a plateau, at least a temporary plateau, while AI is taking up all the computer hardware. But who knows how long that will last? It seems like we could be here for a while.
And I mean, is that a bad thing though? Like, are games, are they looking good enough? Are the kids still after this? Like, my son is on his iPad playing the most garbage looking games I've ever seen, just iPad games. Like, do kids even care about this? Is this argument dead? What, like, who is still carrying on about this?
See, that's
because back in the day, that used to be the thing, right? Like, we used to always be pushing like better graphics, games got to get better. But who is carrying this flag nowadays?
I never even thought about that. What if kids just don't even care about graphics the way we used to? Because it used to be like, oh shit, it made the jump from 2D to 3D. Oh, the N64 and PlayStation, all this stuff is like, which one is better? And is the Xbox is slightly more powerful than the PS2? Your PS2 is garbage. Is it now just like no one really cares and all games are the same? So I'm gonna play Angry Birds on my iPad. Like, who cares about graphics?
I don't.
Were we just caught up in the weird technology wave?
Well, also we have this issue, right, where everything's trying to look real, but now like nothing is real, and there's all these, simulated worlds and AI. So like, are people looking like we were approaching in computer graphics and game graphics, right, to get to a point of realism? Do people want real anymore? Is that even a thing? What, things just don't even look. If you watch movies, things hardly look real even in movies now. So what is the aspiration now?
I mean, I think we're in an uncanny valley that I don't like. But I do think people want realistic graphics.
Who wants them? Who is after them?
Someone must want them because every AAA game looks like not like I won't say like real life, but it has like the photorealistic video game that looks like a video game and annoys me because it looks like a video game.
Yes, but what I'm curious though is if the paradigm shifted and the people still making the games did not realize it. Like, have video game studios and companies who keep pushing this agenda, better graphics, better, let's improve, because everything has been very marginal for a long time. Like, but that's always been the agenda. Have they realized, or have we got to a point where things shifted and they just haven't realized that that is no longer the focus?
I mean, I certainly don't know. And I'm going to guess that the guy in the boardroom at Activision knows more about how to make money than I do.
I assume so, but companies are, corporations are slow moving entities, right? They get locked behind management. Do you work for a company, Tyler?
I work for a company.
All right. So for a kind of a big company, you've seen the way they move glacially slow, how decisions get bogged down and how the people at the top might be sometimes out of touch or a little tone deaf to what's going on. And they may be willing to change or hear new information, but sometimes that information takes a while to get up to them, process, and then get fed down into the ecosystem of that work. I'm just curious if this is part of what is happening right now, that things shifted under everybody's feet. They didn't realize it shifted. Maybe some people do, but by the time the message gets up there, it might be 2 years or 3 years before we see any kind of development shift. Also, development on video games takes fucking forever.
What? You could just send a prompt. What do you mean? You just prompt ChatGPT. It'll make a video game for you.
Yeah, that correct. I think that's what they want. And could that also be the thing? They're like, don't worry, one day AI is just going to fix it. Just beat a holding pattern until AI gets here. They'll fix everything. I don't know. Video games are in a weird place. I don't know how to feel about it. You think we're not getting better? I don't know. I don't even know if it matters.
I mean, to me, it's like I have more games, not even just like own, but just like there are more games than I could ever possibly play in my life. So I'll be fine. But so some people need that, like the community of like people all like getting together. Oh, the new thing came out. Let's all talk about it for 2 weeks and then forget about it forever.
As we've been harping on recently, the monoculture is dead. That's not even a thing anymore. When you've got 1,000 little games that release on Steam every week, we're so diluted. There's no place to come in. Like occasionally these big AAA games will release. People will come and talk about them for 2 weeks. IGN will run a news article about it. They'll push it, they'll do an overlay over their whole site and then, it'll go away. But even sites like IGN, they don't look like video game sites anymore.
I mean, IGN's like wasn't it always like a pop culture site? But
not like it used to be more game focused, right? Like, look, I'm not on IGN every day or anything, so I don't really know. Occasionally, I get sent an article from there. I'm just saying, things have definitely shifted. Video games aren't another aspect of games becoming digital that I think I wasn't considering at the time. Is when you walk into a store or even digital storefronts, you would see those items with things just being locked behind the hardware. Now, like, oh, go get your games here. I'm not seeing games. You go into Best Buy, there's not really a game section anymore. That's kind of like tucked away. I go into Target, it's shrunk down to like one aisle that's like tucked off in the corner that I don't have to walk past anymore. Instead of like being, hey, here's new games, come see new games. Like, that's just not it anymore. GameStops are closing. Like, where are people even seeing the games? So I think it's just like removing the idea of games from people's minds because it's not present.
So you're saying games are dead? It's over.
Maybe. No, I doubt games are dead. Humans have been playing games since when? Forever. Humans will always figure out a way to play games. My point is that like this idea of games and like how focused people are on them. Humans are visual creatures. If it's not up in your face all the time, then people tend to forget about them. And one of the aspects of so few games being sold nowadays, like physically, is that people are kind of not engaging with them as readily anymore.
I don't have anyone to talk to about Mars First Logistics or the Outer Wilds DLC. One of these games is technically new-ish, and the other one came out 3 years ago, and I still probably wouldn't be able to find anyone I know who's played the Outer Wilds DLC.
Nope, not me.
Give me the monoculture back. Man, one of my 3 genie wishes. End capitalism, give me $5 billion, and bring back the monoculture.
If you end capitalism, why do you need $5 billion?
Well, then I'm going to be the king of the communists. I mean, there's still a hierarchy among the communists. Like, they have the party in charge. I'm just going to be the...
I mean, why don't you just take why don't you just keep $5 billion and then keep capitalism alive, and then you can really profit?
Yeah, that's probably right. Forget the rest of you guys.
Yeah.
It's going to be good. You know, Johnny, one thing I didn't mention with the PS5 price increase in $900, we live in a world where there are technically 3 major video game consoles. Like, in a regular market, if a console goes from $600 to $900, everyone would be like, oh, I guess I'm getting an Xbox. But Xbox as a brand is so fucking dead that Sony's just like, yeah, we could increase the price to $900. No one's buying an Xbox. So, I mean, in this brave new world, I think that we are moving forward. We will probably have Nintendo still, and, like, I think probably Xbox will merge into, like, the PC space, whatever they're trying to do there. They're going to try to turn, like, Windows and Xbox maybe into the same thing and, like, release maybe, like, a Steam Deck or the Steam machine. But, like, I can't imagine a world where we have 3 consoles in 10 years.
I mean, if it is, it's not going to be as it is now.
Because consoles used to be different. And now, like, even the minor things that used to keep them apart, like, oh, Xbox is Halo's on Xbox, even that's gone. So, like, there's no difference anymore.
No. Like, really, the only different console is Nintendo. Nintendo's off over here just doing its own thing.
Yep.
Nintendo's doing Nintendo things. But they're also being a port console of, like, every old game that's ever been made ever.
Oh, there was a great thread. I actually mentioned this, I think, the last episode. But someone who was really involved in Switch collecting stopped. And, like, one of the reasons they mentioned was, like, oh, all the games are just, like, games that already exist.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We live in a different world for sure. But when I think about the Switch 2 being $450, and I think about the Xbox being or the PS5 being $900, man, the Switch 2 looks like a really good deal right now.
Dude, I'm gonna get one. I just want the good one.
I know.
I just want.
I told you I had to buy one for my wife, and then she's got her own Switch 2 now.
Well, it's still a maybe. I'll let you know when I get one.
Okay.
Johnny, I had one more thing that led me down the path of wanting to talk about how everything's going to be expensive forever and we're doomed.
Okay.
That someone on Discord posted a copy of Medal of Honor Airborne, like a completely whatever game. And it was a pre-order copy of the game that came with a free copy of Battlefield 2. Medal of Honor Airborne... 2007, 2008. Let me look it up. But whatever. Battlefield 2 was like 2 or 3 years old at this point. And Battlefield 2, if it wasn't a Game of the Year game, it definitely won some Game of the Year awards. We're talking like it was at least PC Game of the Year. Battlefield 2 was a huge game. And it was free as a pre-order bonus with freaking Medal of Honor Airborne. That is like buying a random game now and getting Baldur's Gate 3 or Tears of the Kingdom for free. That is how far we have... Old games used to be worthless. 3 years? It's just like no one wants a 3-year-old game anymore. Give me the new stuff.
Not now.
I can't even imagine getting Cyberpunk 2077 for free with a pre-order. And how old is that game now?
Years at this point?
Yeah.
Not anymore, man. Games cost too much money.
That game's 60 years old. The idea of me getting that game for free is like, it wouldn't even occur to me that I could get that game for free as a pre-order with something.
Games just cost too much money.
We're due.
These companies don't want to give them out. They need to keep you on the hook longer.
I spent $3 billion developing the game. How is that my problem? Give it to me for free. full communism.
I think that's how that works, but all right.
Johnny, we have a news episode. We could get into the real episode now that it's been 20 minutes.
Okay. All right. Let's start. We have a couple of big news items. Which one do you want to start with? Big relative to video games.
All right. Well, considering that most people, we're going to only lose listeners, not gain listeners over time. Let's start with the news that I think is most applicable to people. Let's talk about the new Neo Geo.
Woo! Wait, do we care about this?
I don't care about it, but there's an unbelievable amount of buzz whenever there's a new anything announced. So,
is it new though? Is it a new Neo Geo, or is it just the Neo Geo? Explain to the people.
They are making a Neo Geo AES. They're remaking the Neo Geo AES, and the only real difference, it looks like, is that it's going to have HDMI output. It says with modern technology, so is it also going to have like a stupid menu and stuff?
Maybe it's got like wireless controllers.
Savable high scores, BIOS menu options, and additional switches for faster settings. So it has controller ports because it is a Neo Geo. But then they also it comes with a wireless controller. And when you buy the bundle, it comes with one wired controller and one wireless controller, which I actually think is pretty cool. Because the real me would want to use the wireless controller, but then you have the original experience unplugged into the real port.
The hipster version of you wants that one. So there's also a couple different versions of it. There's like a special edition white one. How much is this thing? Did we know? Is it like $250 to $350? Is that what I read?
It is cheaper than I thought, yes. So the console itself is $250 to $350, and then there's a bundle that includes 2 controllers and 9 games for $1,000, which is a lot, but considering what people would pay for this, these are real, as far as I know, they're real Neo Geo games, the full cartridge, the complete reproductions.
10 games. It's 10 games and it comes in a box set. The retail value of these CIB is $58,000.
Well, okay. My reproduction Nintendo World Championships is worth $100,000.
Well, no. These aren't reproductions. This is just the latest release of the game.
Of course.
Because this is... Here's my question. What do we classify this Neo Geo? Is this just... It's called the Neo Geo Plus, right? So, is this a new system? And are these 10 new games? But it says this is just the old Neo Geo. These are 10 Neo Geo games. Your old Neo Geo games should work on this as well, right?
Yeah. So it is just a remake of the Neo Geo. And it's apparently using most of the same hardware. The thing they... do you want to get into the hardware? Or you want to keep talking about your does it count?
No, we can get into the hardware. We'll get back into the does it count after we go over to the hardware. So, a lot of these new consoles from Analog use an FPGA, and I'm not a freaking hardware engineer, so I'm just going with my layman understanding of electronics. An FPGA is a reprogrammable chip. So they program this one big beefy chip to have essentially the same electronic layout of an NES. And then that chip acts electrically almost the same as a real NES would. So all the little integrated circuits on an NES, all of those and the connections between them get programmed onto the FPGA. And if they screw something up or there's some weird incompatibility, they can send an update to your console, and then you reprogram the FPGA so it fixes whatever the problem was. This Neo Geo is using the same chips that an original Neo Geo was. They're using ASICs. And the thing with ASICs is you have a big machine that etches a design into a chip once. And that design, it's very expensive to make the first chip, but then each subsequent chip is super cheap. So FPGAs are expensive, but reprogrammable. ASICs are one time you program it it's really expensive, but then it's really cheap to reproduce them. Every Famiclone you've ever bought is using a NES on a chip. So those cheap, you got them from the drugstore in 2004 NES that has 500 games built into it.
it has an ASIC that is acting as an NES, and a lot of those have an audio bug, and that's why your audio in Castlevania 3 is messed up. And the reason that it was never fixed is because it was really expensive to make that chip once, but it was really cheap to make 10 billion of those chips again. So rather than fixing the bug, they just kept blasting out those chips because it was too expensive to fix the bug and no one really cares. So this Neo Geo is like, if you look at a Neo Geo circuit board, there are like a bunch of chips, Z80, Yamaha 2610. There are chips that are not in production anymore. And presumably they are not sourcing original chips. You can get like fake chips from China, but I don't think they're probably not doing that. It sounds like they're going to be remaking, like re-etching original ASIC chips. But the problem with that is that if they do that and there is a problem, that problem is there forever. Because you essentially, what this comes down to is you can't update the code on this because it's going to be real hardware and it's not emulation, which they sell as if it's a pro. I would not pre-order this. In case there is some kind of problem, I would wait to see what the problem is. Because I probably have the most negative review of the original Analog NT and the most negative review of the NES Mini on the internet, on YouTube. I think people have low standards and they think that they want, I want all the most original hardware with no emulation, no FPGA. This is the real deal. And practically, you don't. It doesn't matter. Emulation is better. Emulation can fix problems. And if there's a problem with this, it will never be fixed.
Yeah, it does create a scenario that, you know, when you just have these master pressings like this, that if there's something baked in, you're just going to be stuck with it. I don't know. The pre-order price is pretty good if you buy the bundle. Like, I don't know.
I don't think it's crazy. So the games themselves have an MSRP of $90, which when you think of like a Neo Geo game, this big chunky cartridge in a big box with like circuit board, like they're cool. And like they've got the right games. They've got Metal Slug. They've got Neo Turf Masters, which is called Big Tournament Golf.
Tournament Golf?
I don't know what the fuck that's about.
I don't know what that's about either. I'm like, Big Tournament Golf, you mean Neo Turf Masters? What the hell?
But like, I think a lot of people would spend $90 just to put a real Neo Geo copy of Metal Slug on their shelf.
I think people who own the Neo Geo might spend $90 never to open their Neo Geo or their Metal Slug.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Metal Slug is a $20,000 game. So is Neo Turf Masters.
Well, we're not getting Neo Turf Masters.
No, we're getting Big Tournament Golf. Same thing.
Is that like a regional name for this? And even if it is, like, if you're changing the name, you could come up with a better name than Big Tournament Golf. That sounds like a fake game from like NCIS.
You know what it sounds like? It sounds like the name of original NES title. It's like an original NES title.
Big Tournament Golf. I feel like that's too many words for like an older NES game would just be like Tournament Golf.
I think, isn't NES Tournament Golf a game?
NES Open.
The sports titles have some weird names if you like read out the whole sports name. The pre-order saves you a bit of money because each one is retailing at $90, but the bundle is $1,000. 10 games, that's $900 in games. So you're getting an extra controller and memory card. I don't know. You kind of like buy all the games, get the console for free. Seems like a fine deal if you're into it.
It's not for me. I think it's better than like an arcade 1-up, but yeah, I think if you are into these remake consoles, if you're into stuff like the Evercade or whatever, yeah, I think, I mean, I wouldn't blow $1,000 on it, but if you're the kind of person who would, like, yeah, sure.
I mean,
like
this is the same thing.
10 real Neo Geo games, even if they're repros, like whatever, they're licensed. They are like going back to the does it count? Like these are Neo Geo games. I don't think they're super collectible. I don't think this $90 copy of Metal Slug replaces a $20,000 copy of Metal Slug. But yeah, you have a Neo Geo copy of Metal Slug, and that's kind of cool in some sense.
Yeah, it comes in a little box set. Look, if they did this for the NES, I would buy it in a second. Just I wouldn't even think about it because I would just be.
You'd buy it in a second. Let me tell you the story of a console called the Analog NT. that was 100% real hardware, no emulation. The original Analog NT doesn't have an FPGA. The original Analog NT doesn't even have reproduced chips on it. They scavenged PlayChoice 10 arcade boards and desoldered the chips from them and put them into the Analog NT. The Analog NT is like this real handcrafted bullshit that they like killed a bunch of arcade boards to make. So it has real Nintendo chips in it. And the Analog NT has compatibility problems. And it's not, I don't know where the compatibility problems come from, but besides just being an NES, it has additional hardware for the for the HDMI output, which this Neo Geo does as well. And so, yeah, if you play Super Mario Brothers on the Analog NT or freaking Contra, it works fine. It's perfect. It's great. But there are obscure games like Family Feud or Spot the Video Game, where deeper into the game, there would be graphical glitches because of I'm guessing because of the HDMI hardware. And because those weren't popular games, probably no one on planet Earth besides me ever played those on an Analog NT. And so I think this probably won't be as big a deal with the Neo Geo AES Plus, which is what it's called, because like there's 100 Neo Geo games and people care about like 20 of them. But
well, can you do the thing where like will it play the arcade conversions?
It's a Neo Geo. Like if they're saying what it is, it'll play any original thing an original Neo Geo would. It is just a Neo Geo. But I think these types of products, even the FPGA ones, it is all marketing. They want you to think that you are getting the most original experience because, it has no emulation. You don't care. You literally don't care. You're playing on an LCD TV over HDMI. The original hardware of a Neo Geo draws images one scan line at a time. There's no frame buffer for HDMI images on an original Neo Geo. And you're playing a console that's generating images one frame at a time instead of one scan line at a time. That's fucking not what the original Neo Geo does. Stop pretending you're like, no emulation. You're doing something different. It's like this extremely minor difference that doesn't really matter, but that's exactly what software emulation is too. Using software emulation doesn't matter either. I played fucking Metal Slug 3 on the original Xbox. I'm not like, I got the fake experience because I played it on Xbox. No, it was great. Just play the game. Stop worrying about how original you are and just sit down and actually play the fucking games. Because I know everyone's going to buy this and it's going to put it on their shelf and be like, I'm the realest gamer. And then they're not even going to play the fucking games. If you're the realest gamer, just emulate all the games. And don't use save states. That's what the realest gamer would do.
You don't need to convince me. You know how I play games. You came over here, we played on a Polymega because I was like, nah, this is just easier. We're just going to use this Polymega real quick.
Oh my God. I don't know if it's like as I get older, I get grumpier and I'm just like, just play it, whatever. Just use an emulator. I don't care. It's the same. Sometimes emulators are even better. Fucking, what's that horrible piece of software? Hold on, it's installed on my computer. RetroArch. RetroArch can run games like one frame faster than real hardware can. It can actually reduce input lag below what real hardware can. Software emulation can be better than real hardware.
The Polymega is a better Neo Geo CD system than the Neo Geo CD.
There you go.
Just faster.
Also, my last thing against the people who are going to be like, but there's no emulation. I've brought this up before, but in the speedrunning community, they found that some Super Nintendos run very, very slightly faster than other Super Nintendos because of the aging of the chips. Do you know how you can standardize everyone to be on the same platform? You could have them all run the game on emulators. And I used to be on the opposite side of this argument. I used to be like,
sure did.
Why are we speedrunning on fake emulated games? The real hardware ensures that everyone's on the same platform. But no, it's actually the opposite. Anyway, I think it's fine. I don't think it's exciting. I think the price is better than I would have expected.
The price is way better. It's a thing I will sit down and I will consider one day. Like maybe if I was sitting in front of it, if I can generate a reason why I would play this or use it, then I would consider buying it. I don't think I have that use case. I don't hate it. I thought I was going to hate it more, but I don't hate it. What I hate is all the YouTubers flipping out. They're just like rubbing their hands together and they're like, oh yeah, Neo Geo finally did the thing that we want all these other companies to do. They're not like the NES Classic and all these other bullshit consoles. Neo Geo cares about people. I'm like, guys, didn't like Neo Geo like release all of their shit on like Evercade and even on the Poly Mega games, and didn't they like have a thing with limited run games where they like did a Neo Geo Mini? Like, didn't they have a bunch of bad clone systems? That's the thing that happened. Like,
This one looks like a Neo Geo though.
Look, I'm just saying. People are like, oh yeah, because Neo Geo has always been a purist console. No, I don't think so. Anyways,
What do you mean? I mean, it has always been kind of a purist console.
No, but what I'm saying, I think like the company Neo Geo, it's like, oh well, they're never lowering their standards, and they would never do these kind of clone consoles. It's like, no, they did. I think they were one of the first ones doing them actually. Like NES clearly, but they had in that big like NES Classic, PlayStation Classic, that whole wave of mini consoles. They were right there. They were doing the same thing. Again, that was like, what was that Neo Geo Gold that came out? Remember that?
Oh yeah, I forgot about that guy. That was like a handheld thing.
Yeah. So
that thing kind of sucked. No one wanted that because it's a handheld emulator thing.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm just saying for all the people like, yeah, Neo Geo is the best ever, and it's like, well, look, they aren't better than anyone else. They're just another company that wants to make money, and there's nothing wrong with that. But let's just not. I know what you think about that, Tower.
Well, no, hold on. If you do want a reason not to buy, so you could get an FPGA that will literally emulate the Neo Geo in an FPGA the exact same way, except you'll be able to update it because it'll be an FPGA instead of like real hardware for like $200 on AliExpress or wherever you get misters these days. But SNK, if you don't want to give SNK money, I think Mohammed bin Salman owns like 96% of SNK. I think it's morally correct to pirate SNK games at this point.
Maybe. But you won't get this cool Neo Geo box.
It is cool, man. I mean, the console looks exactly like a Neo Geo. I mean, I would guess looking at it, like maybe they have the original molds or something. Like it's a Neo Geo. Like that's all it is. It's kind of cool.
Yeah, the little box up with all the games and everything. Like, I don't know. That has some appeal. That's why I said, like, if Nintendo did this with like the 10 best black box games or something, I would just wouldn't even be a question. I would just be buying it.
How do you feel about joysticks? I hate joysticks.
Hate joysticks. I've always hated joysticks. Please give me a joypad.
So this only comes with a joystick. Although they might have the Neo Geo CD controllers available separately.
Yeah.
So Neo Geo CD, I know, had like a gamepad sort of thing.
Didn't it
did that work with the original Neo Geo? I don't know enough about Neo Geo. I thought that was just the Neo Geo CD controllers.
They have no, the gamepad. They've got the gamepad on there too, which has got like the weird. It's not like your typical cross.
It looks like the NES Max almost. It's got like a little nub instead of a D-pad.
Yeah, which I hate. Like, can I just get a regular?
Yep.
Can I just get a regular one, guys? I wonder if regular Bluetooth controllers are going to work with this.
I don't know. I kind of would suspect not, but maybe they have like in their BIOS like some kind of input handling. Don't listen to me. I don't know what I'm talking about, but
anyways, yeah, this is going to be an interesting thing. Like I said, there's a black one and there's like a special edition white one. And the thing about the special edition white one, it comes with a special white copy of Metal Slug.
Oh wow, limited edition
variant.
I mean, the only variant I'm thinking about is Big Tournament Golf because no one's got that.
No, all these Neo Geo collectors who had complete sets, they got to come and get Big Tournament Golf now.
Imagine, you have a Neo Geo set and this thing comes out. They're just like, oh, $1,000 and like maybe another 300 for the white one. Okay, I'll buy that. Whatever.
They're like, still complete. Yeah, no big. They're like, I've been waiting to spend
I
$1,000.
haven't been able to spend $1,000 on Neo Geo stuff in a while because I've had every single game since 1998.
Pretty much. again, I don't know enough Neo Geo guys, and I'm not going into any place where Neo Geo guys hang out dedicated. I've learned my lesson about that. So someone tell me how the Neo Geo people feel about this, because that is one thing I am completely oblivious to. I have no idea how Neo Geo people feel about this.
Johnny, as someone who prefers shooters in the arcades over fighting games, I don't really care for Neo Geo. Just not a ton of games that ever interested me on Neo Geo.
It all felt a lot samey to me. It wasn't
sure
like
did.
Metal Slug is awesome.
The graphics are incredible, but like, I don't know. The games are fine. They're good games, but it's not for me.
Look, I was an RPG kid, and the Neo Geo wasn't doing a lot for me.
All right, Johnny, that's the Neo Geo AES Plus. Go buy it. We give it 2 thumbs up. Recommended 10 out of 10. IGN 10 out of 10, in fact.
I think IGN gives everything a 7, right? That's how they do things.
You mentioned them. I went on their website. The first 2 things on their website was like Beef Season 2, 10 out of 10, and the latest episode of Invincible, 10 out of 10.
Excellent news.
I mean, who cares about IGN at this point, though?
No, you watching Invincible?
I'm not. I only saw that the apparently the new season's animation is very poor.
You know, I've heard people complain. I watched it. I didn't have any problem with it. I don't know. I grew up with cartoons in the 80s. This looks fine, guys. Just relax. Everyone needs to relax. Yeah.
I'll get
I don't know. Does this count? Is this its own? Are you going to count this as its own system? Like if you buy this and you have all 10 games,
it is not its own system. It's theoretically almost identical to a real Neo Geo. There's probably way more hardware difference between an SNES and an SNES Junior. There's probably more hardware difference between a regular SNES and like an SNES 1 chip than there is between a Neo Geo AES and an AES Plus.
I mean, it's got them HDMI outputs and
I know, but there's different chips and stuff on the SNES 1 chip too. So like just flipping around a few chips, I don't think that makes it a new console.
Okay. Go buy it, $1,000, and then spend another $300 and get the variant, so you have the best set around.
Also, you were talking about Xbox 360 at some point. Like Xbox 360 originally didn't ship with HDMI, so when it went from regular component output to HDMI, that wasn't a new console.
This is true. This is true. Man, the original Xbox 360. What a piece of garbage. But so cool.
Cool console.
Cool console. Man, the Xbox 360. What amazing time in games to be in the early days of Xbox Live.
I never played anything online. I still think it was a pretty cool time in games, Johnny. I didn't play anything on consoles online because I thought paying for online play was a ripoff.
Just the marketplace, like having that marketplace, just man,
pretty cool. And there was a monoculture, so when like Geometry Wars came out, everyone was playing Geometry Wars.
Everyone played Geometry Wars.
Everyone played Braid.
Yep.
Everyone played Super Meat Boy. Everyone played Splosion Man. I don't think everyone played Splosion Man, but if you haven't, man, Splosion Man is so good.
I mean, most people did. Oh my god, what's the one? What's the other game everyone played? I like it a lot, and I forgot its name. Damn.
There's no more good Xbox Live Arcade games. Was it Marble Blast Ultra? Because that game rules too.
No, it was the Metroidvania game.
Oh, the Shadow Complex?
Yes, thank you.
That game was alright.
I like Shadow Complex. Limited Run did a physical release of that.
Dude, the Trials games. All of us have played both of these games. We could not do like if we just pointed out random Switch games. God, bring back the monoculture.
It is the way it diverges after like 2010 gets crazy, or after maybe 2015, 16. Yeah, it's
kids will never
a lot different. But what last thing before we leave this? If this thing does well, they're going to release more games, right?
Oh, definitely, yeah.
Does this get us to the point where people start developing new games for this hardware?
No.
Like all the homebrews and stuff, do they finally like tap into that and then like start releasing these?
I don't know how hard it is to develop for the Neo Geo, but I mean, then I start thinking about like AI, but like just think of how much art is in Neo Geo. Like Neo Geo games look so good. Yeah. Like we're talking like the hand-drawn explosion in like Metal Slug. Some guy was slaving over that for like days.
Yeah, it's true. I'm wondering if we see more. Also, there was a few people I saw online pointing to this as like the finally finally the vinyl comparison is becoming apt. One I've been making for a while, but they're like, yeah, this is how it releases. Like finally they release like an old piece of like physically dead hardware that is finally re-released, and then people can get into it. And then you have, people who slowly get back in, and you put these re-releases out that become accessible. And over time, while they're not collectible now, over time in like 5 years, since it was the first re-release, that one then has value and builds up, and those become collectible. I don't know if that's all going to happen or not.
I know we have Evercade collectors who listen to this. Like, no offense to the Evercade people, I think this will be about as collectible as Evercade games are. Meaning you have to be into like the modern re-release type stuff. Even though it is an original Neo Geo game, I think it's going to fall into the same category as like an Evercade.
I think if you've got a full Evercade collection, that's pretty cool. I think if you've got a full...
because no one has that, that's why it's cool. Yeah.
Yeah, if you've got the full Polymega set, I also think that's cool.
Exactly. I think it's falling into so Polymega has like those weird Polymega games. It's in that category.
Yeah, I think those are cool. Those are compilations of like 5 to 6 games on a disc that they put out. Go check those out if you haven't. I think some of those are pretty good deals. I like them. All right, Tyler, I think we can move on from Neo Geo, the biggest news thing going around right now. If you have anything to do with video games in your YouTube, this is all you'll be seeing. It's annoying.
Woo! I've always loved the Neo Geo. I've only played one Metal Slug game for 10 minutes, but man, my Neo Geo really brings me back to my childhood, Johnny.
Yeah, There's going to be so many of those people, and they will be obnoxious.
I played Garrow Mark of the Wolves, and I got past 2 levels and then died on 1 credit, and now I'm making this video.
I'm the biggest Magician Lord fan that ever was.
Are you, John? That's one of my only Neo Geo games I have. I have I think that might be my only Neo Geo game. Actually, it's an MVS cartridge. I think I actually have 4 MVS cartridges. I don't remember what 2 of them are. One is a bootleg copy of Metal Slug, which I realized like months after I bought it, and the other one's a real copy of Magician Lord.
Nice.
The game's all right, whatever. It's weird. It's like I'm playing a platformer in the arcade. This isn't the right place for a platformer. What are we doing here, guys?
Is this going to revitalize the MVS market?
No. Does the MVS market need to be revitalized?
Yes.
When I was collecting, I wasn't collecting really heavily, but AES games were expensive and MVS games were like garbage. People were like, who wants MVS? The arcade cartridges? Those are like cheap. Who cares? And yeah, I guess they're expensive now, but they're not crazy.
I mean, there's like, some games that you can't get unless you get MVS. I don't know.
Oh, yeah, I know. But like I see a Metal Slug 4 here for $125. Windjammers, one of the best Neo Geo games, $275. That's a lot for a loose MVS cartridge, but if you're really collecting MVS games, they're not like prohibitively expensive.
No. I mean, if you collect Neo Geo, MVS cartridges are not that expensive.
Yes, definitely.
So, all right. Well, let's move on from that.
All right, we could talk about some stuff that's sold, Johnny.
Oh, we have video game sales news. Wow,
Johnny. Yeah, sometimes we need the video game sales news because you know what, I'm disconnected from video game collecting more than you are right now. I'm only connected via a couple Discords and some other people I talk to. But I imagine there's just stuff happening on like Instagram and Facebook that I just don't know about. So I need someone to tell me. And so I'm here to speak to the other people who don't know what's going on and give them what I'm seeing. And I need Johnny, I need you to go out there and tell me what you see going on so we can form a full picture of what's happening in video game collecting. Because you know what? I bet there's like a blog somewhere that tracks all the big comic sales and what's going on in the comic collecting market. But video game collecting is not a big enough hobby to have a source like that. We had one cool website that tracked all the big sales, gamerstonks.com, and then they got shut down. And so we're back to just price charting, which is not really a source for anything.
I mean, it's what we have.
Anyway, what's going on, Johnny? Everybody loves a comeback story.
That's a meme. Okay.
I want to talk about Ryan Main, the guy who owns Fire and Ice Games in California. Go check out the store, I guess. He bought a labelless copy of Nintendo World Championships Gold for $200-something thousand in like the same month that another copy sold for $400-something thousand, like a real copy. None of these were auctions. These were both private sales. But we talked about it on our year-end recap that year, and we were like, this was the year of Nintendo World Championships being back in the market. Nintendo World Championships Gold.
Yes.
And we kind of dunked on Ryan, because if you're going to buy the quote-unquote like GRAIL of video games, don't buy one without a label, man. God, I know it was so much cheaper than the one with the label, but it hurts. It hurts so much. But he did just buy another Nintendo World Championships. And not only is this one with the label, this was the grand prize winner cartridge from the Nintendo World Championships Gold cartridge. So he went from one of probably the worst known copies of Nintendo World Championships to literally the best copy of Nintendo World Championships Gold, which on the scale of like what is the most collectible things ever, like, you know, it's probably pretty high up there on most collectible things ever, is to have the grand prize Nintendo World Championships Gold cartridge.
It is quite the come up. It is, you know, look, I know we dunked on him a little. Just to get this out there, owning any NWC Gold, Gray, whatever, pretty interesting feat to like have under your belt. An amazing collectible to say you own any copy, but going from the bad copy to this is pretty amazing. That's, you know, that's quite the step up.
It was. To quote Succession, before he had this, he was the poorest rich man in America, the tallest dwarf.
Wonderful. Yeah. So this is basically like going from like a PSA 1 to a PSA 10.
Yeah. Let's keep dunking on it, because now he has to sell his old one. So let's make sure to keep that price down. But,
well, I mean, we did say owning any, like, there. It's not like there's like 100, 200 like NWC Golds always in the market that people can just go be picky and choosy from. That's just not a thing as well.
So just to explain this a bit for the people here. So Nintendo World Championships Gold. Well, first of all, Nintendo World Championships was like a 1990 video game competition that was like held nationwide across America. Whatever, it doesn't matter. The games used in the actual cartridges used in the tournament were gray cartridges that had serial numbers on them, and they go from like around 0 to 350 or 0 to 400, something like that. And Nintendo Power at the same time held a contest. I'm just realizing I don't even know what the contest was for. Was it just like you write in and it was a sweepstakes, or was there some actual competition here?
I don't know.
Damn, I just brought this up too. I sent a screenshot of the magazine to someone. But yeah, anyway, it was a contest, and the top 26 winners of the contest got a copy of Nintendo World Championship Gold. So if you were like number 25, you got the cartridge, maybe some other, maybe like t-shirts and other stuff. I think you just got the cartridge. And then the grand prize winner was flown to Orlando, Florida to watch the finals of the Nintendo World Championship or whatever. And they got like a vacation along with the cartridge. And so this cartridge that sold was that grand prize winner's cartridge, which is identical to all the other cartridges. It's just got the cooler provenance to it.
Yes.
And that's cool. It was sold by Bunny Boy, who's an old Nintendo age guy. He is the guy behind RetroUSB.com. He did the 8-Bit Xmas homebrew series. Really prominent guy from game collecting history. So kind of passing the torch on of the biggest game.
And do we have a price? Was that publicly stated, the price?
I got a screenshot of a Facebook post that this sale even happened, and then I asked people for a price and no one told me the price. I would bet a bunch of people know the price and no one's telling me, because the price is private. So let's guess the price. So keep in mind the last NWC Gold that sold was around, I think it was $450, and that was kind of like a private, like
$450,000.
$450,000, yes.
Yeah. Do we want to say when was this? Was this 2004? I mean, 24?
Yes, I think the last sales were in 2024.
Okay, so gaming was not quite dead then. So let's factor that. Oh, do we want to say? Are we thinking it's like 600,000 or 7?
I mean, I think it's a minimum of $500,000 because not
Oh, I
only
think
is
so.
it a good copy of a game you essentially can't get, it's the best copy. Maybe not in condition, but I think it might also be the best condition. It's apparently really nice.
Yeah, I
It's
don't know.
weird because if you put this into like an auction and you have to pay, you're going to pay a reduced rate for a game like this. But even if you had to pay, man, I don't know how anything works because sometimes they give you extra money when you put in something really high end. What would this even sell for?
I have
It
no
has
idea.
to be more than $500,000, right? Would you give up the best thing? Maybe is Bunny Boy just getting old and he's like, fuck it, let's get rid of this. Let's put this into my retirement and then I'll be set.
I don't know. Maybe he looked at his
$500,000.
mortgage, or maybe he's like, I do want a vacation house.
Because I could also like once you get into this price range, it's just like this like all bets are off. If you're looking at something like very concrete, I'm looking at a copy of Outrun 2 for the Xbox. It's like, well, this is a $17 game, and I guess I could stretch it to $19 if the copy is really nice. And if you're looking at a $500,000 game, it's like, well, it could be $1 million because it was also a really nice copy.
Yeah, I don't know. I
All right, we're guessing it's
I'm
somewhere
just-
between $500,000 and $1 million.
yeah.
Which, also puts it among the most expensive games ever sold. And it's I hate these weird sales that like are not really documented anywhere. There's all these like just rich guys going behind the scenes.
Would you? Let me ask you. Would you rather have this or that Mario that's going to be on sale?
I'll take this.
Yeah, me too.
Oh man, no, yeah, I'll take this because I hate that the gloss sticker Super Mario Brothers is a second print. And
So if we think that thing is going to sell for $1 million, this thing has to be like, I don't know. It has to be in that 500,000 to $1 million. Range.
I don't. This isn't as good as a collectible for like the pop culture people. And I've even said this in like YouTube videos where I kind of dump on NWC. Like it's a magazine contest prize. This is the GRAIL of all video games, and it's a second place magazine contest prize. It's like it's not that incredible. No one cares about the actual Nintendo World Championships 1990. They brought it back, and like, do you remember that? Like it's.
Yeah, they brought back into Best Buys and they did the competition.
It's a little piece of pop culture. But like in terms of how much clout you get from having an NWC Gold, I think yes.
I mean, I'm biased. I've said that this is the coolest video game item. Always I've maintained this.
I'll give you a spoiler, Johnny. I want the next episode to be the top 100 video games we could collect, and I want us to each come up with a list. I have flip-flopped on NWC Gold. I think NWC Gold is going to be a top 100 video game you could possibly collect.
Oh, absolutely. If it wasn't on your list, I would think you were insane.
Yeah.
But then we're going to have a follow-up episode to that where money is no object. And we say, if you were the ultimate video game collector, these are the 100 best items you would own. Or maybe 20. The 20 best items in video game history that you can own.
All right. You work on your list. I've already got 100 games down. I haven't refined it yet, but like, come on, go work on your list.
I was going to work on my list, but then I got mad at you. And I didn't want to think about it.
All right. We love each other again, though.
We do. Look, I told you, I'm comfortable. I'm comfortable being mad at people. That's okay. Conflict is fine. Be mad at people you love and then forgive them and don't be mad at them anymore. It's okay to feel feelings.
Johnny. I don't know Ryan Main that well. Is he keeping this? Is this he's gonna? He also has a sealed stadium events, but he also owns a store. I get the impression that he also wants to have the best stuff though, because I don't know if you'd buy a sealed stadium events just to flip it. Maybe you would. Is he just selling that? You think this is going to be back on the market in 5 years, or?
I mean, look,
is he going to bask in his glory?
I think he can sit there and be like, he has a history of buying all this stuff and then like making these videos and kind of documenting and being, it's a little much for me. But because I always question how authentic anyone is, but he does own a store. So it's like, I'm of two minds. Like if you own a video game store, how much do you care about games? But also owning a video game store isn't that lucrative. So like you kind of have to love games to like work that hard at it. So I don't know.
I think just by the stuff he goes after, he loves video games. I feel he's not like you look at these Pokemon dealers and like this guy doesn't know what a fucking game card is.
Not in that realm. So like it more to me becomes like people who own video game stores and love video games suddenly find out that it's business, and then they just become desensitized to it, and then they just start to see the dollars because that's how they have to condition themselves. Like you can't fall in love with everything that comes into the store because you have to make money. So yeah, I don't know. And again, I don't know him, and I'm sure we've done some speculating, but I really wouldn't want to guess where he is on it. People are allowed to change their minds too. So what standard do you hold people to? Like if he sells it in 5 years and he makes, $500,000 on it or something, are we supposed to be mad at him for that? Or
yeah, this doesn't affect us at all.
Yeah,
and he's still the coolest guy for owning it. It's in the top 100 things you could own. Yeah.
When we make that list and we say top 20 things you can own, this will be on my version of that.
You know what? So hold on. I think I might be giving too much credit for just mere ownership. I think when I do see like someone who is not into video games, like, I don't know, maybe I don't even want to throw out a name, but like maybe if you spend $1 million in a video game and then he shows you his collection and it's just a rich guy in a mansion of random pop culture stuff and like he clearly doesn't give a shit about video games, then I kind of roll my eyes and I'm like, okay, I don't you don't care, so I don't care.
Yeah, I don't know. And I think it's fine if people like that own that stuff. I think they prop up the hobby and make the hobby more legitimate. So I think we need some amount of those people out there buying this big dumb stuff we're never going to buy anyways. I think a lot of people getting their feelings about it they're like, oh, but somebody who really appreciates it should own. It's like, most video game collectors are, broke.
Oh, like Reddit game collecting?
Well, look. Don't get me started. Why are you trolling me?
Why is NWC Gold in the hand of a guy who owns a video game store? You mean a guy who owns a video game store, Johnny? You mean a reseller?
Yeah.
Ah!
I bet he's gonna grade it. Oh my god! Like people will lose their mind.
Oh my god! I don't even know if it is graded. I don't remember, but I bet he is gonna grade it. No, NWC Gold was meant for playing. Also, this is I don't have the quote, but if you look up the issue of Nintendo Power, it's like the very last page of like issue 7, 8, or 9. It says, once you have the Nintendo World Championships cart, you could go around your neighborhood and hold your own Nintendo World Championships. So it was meant for playing. You were supposed to play it, guys.
Yeah. Stop giving Reddit ammunition.
There was another big sale of, I think, one of the best things ever. I think both things we're talking about are kind of the best thing ever. In November of last year, Christie's of London, and I didn't even hear about this at the time, but it's possible I'm just too checked out. They had a Super Mario Brothers Famicom test cartridge, prototype, master cartridge. I'm not sure what to call it, but it is a very clear pre-releasey kind of prototype looking copy of Super Mario Brothers. This is from Frank Cifaldi. He's had this for 7 years now. And it's a yellow Famicom cartridge with a paper label and just like a bunch of text on the front of it. And it's sold on Christie's London for £100,000, and then apparently the final bidder didn't pay, and then it just kind of disappeared into the ether for a little while. And Exploded Hamster just came out of the woodwork, and he's like, "Hey, I bought this." So it didn't come up for auction again. I think he worked out a private deal with Frank Cifaldi. If I had to guess, I'm guessing it sold for $100,000. But this is essentially, it's not super clear what it is, but if you were to eyeball it, it looks like the earliest known copy of Super Mario Brothers. The code on it is identical to the retail release, but I think the date codes on the chip are the earliest possible date codes a Super Mario Brothers can have. So let's just call it a Super Mario Brothers prototype. On Famicom, not stupid NES stuff.
Okay.
Just okay.
Okay, I
This
guess.
is it. This is like,
No,
this is the best thing.
I'm being blasé, but like, I don't know. This like this is the thing. When we talk about like the thing, like the earliest one you could get, this is it. Pretty
So
cool. If you care about Protos.
so Frank had a Twitter conversation a while ago. I found this randomly. I was looking at Frank Cifaldi on Twitter for something else, and I saw him talking about this on Twitter, and he had a picture of it, and he posted it, and someone said, "Would you even sell this for $2 million?" And he said, "Yes, I would obviously sell this to help the Video Game History Foundation." And he did. So I think this was to fund the Video Game History Foundation. That's why the VGHF is selling like some of the most incredible, like one of the most incredible prototypes the world's ever seen. It's always kind of been in the back of my mind, like the best thing, like this Super Mario Brothers prototype, the best thing is out there and it's for sale and no one's buying it. And now it's gone. Now you guys won't have it and Exploded Hamster have it. He is the person who sold the $1.56 million Super Mario 64. So
he's got some money to put towards this. Man, would you rather spend $1 million on that or $100,000 on this?
Yeah, right? You could have 15 prototypes of Super Mario Brothers, or you could have a sealed Super Mario 64. It's pretty hard to guess.
No. Let's contextualize this. You could have the best NWC gold that exists in the world and this.
To be clear, we're guessing the prices on both of these at $100,000 and $500,000, but we're probably not that far off.
And you would have money left over to buy everything else.
You would. That's crazy, man. Guy with the Super Mario 64. What are you doing? Sitting on it and praying.
I mean, look, I have to imagine though that if you are that guy, it probably doesn't matter. You probably have the money to spend on that. You're probably pretty liquid. So this doesn't really matter.
Yeah. Maybe it's an investor conglomerate and it was just a bad investment for them. Maybe they were trying to hype up the market, but they bought into the peak hype.
Who knows? Do they get to write that off? Does it even matter to them? Is this just the cost of doing business at that level? I don't know. So, I mean, we can dunk on it, but we really don't know what the hell is going on there. Context is everything.
Johnny, I posted a price prediction thread that didn't get a lot of responses yet, but yesterday on Video Game Sage, I was like, hey, what do you think this gloss Super Mario Brothers is going to sell for? Jonebone guessed under $1 million. Jonebone has also kind of been like, who's going to buy all these video games when we're dead, guys? Like, he's kind of agreed with us on like I don't know how Gen Alpha would ever collect video games because they don't even grow up with physical media, let alone a Super Nintendo. Under $1 million. I just think under $1 million for this is just, in terms of every crazy sale we see, like we're still seeing $100,000 Resident Evil. Like, yes, we're desensitized to this because of the past 5 years. It's still $100,000 for just a Resident Evil, and this is 10 times better than Resident Evil.
I agree, but didn't I say under $1 million as well?
You said 1.2. And it's very funny, the latest episode of the Video Game Collectors podcast, Josh Byerly said, I think, it could sell for 500,000, 700,000, or it could just explode and sell for more than the Super Mario 64. I don't think it's going to sell for 1.2 million. So Josh's guess is just the opposite of your guess.
Okay. Look, everybody else who's talking about this is more checked into that market than I am.
The fun part about this, I don't think you need to be that checked into the market to make a guess on this, because I don't think video game collectors are the ones buying a gloss sticker Super Mario Brothers. Like, they didn't buy the first one was weird. There were video game collectors who bought the first one, but then also Jim Halprin was in on it. Like, so there's weird stuff happening in the high-end sealed market all the time.
Manipulation.
Market
What a
manipulation.
scam.
Oh no, market manipulation on this NWC gold that might have sold for $500,000. Oh, a long-time, very well-respected collector sold to a super well-known, prominent collector and store owner. Oh, the market manipulation and money laundering of this very normal sale.
I'm fond of reposting the History Channel meme where it's the guy with the big hair. He's like aliens. I just do that and I put money laundering over that to any thread where people are like, how did this happen? I just, as a joke. I don't know if people know that I'm saying it ironically. I hope so.
A lot of people, yeah. I don't know. We're not good at sarcasm on the internet. Maybe it's because we're old, but a lot of people don't understand when I'm being sarcastic and I say something completely flat, and they're just like, "Oh, you're just an idiot," and they start arguing with me.
You know, it happens. The internet is not the place for conversations, really. It's the place where people converse, but it's not the place for conversations.
Johnny, I have some pessimistic news about the video game market and this upcoming Super Mario Brothers sale.
Okay, are you lowering your bid?
I'm not. I think they're gonna find someone to bid $2 million. Like, come on. There's so much stupid money out there. There's been inflation, so $2 million is not what it used to be. Come on. $2 million, we could find someone. It's the best game.
How many Pokemon cards is it even?
Right?
Come on, guys.
Right? I feel like the dumbest Pokemon card, Pop 500, could sell for $1 million. But the bad news is that Logan Paul has expressed interest in sealed video games, and he's even posted on social media a bunch of sealed Pokemon games he has. But he did not come out tonight to WrestleMania wearing a sealed video game around his neck. He was wearing a pen that said Polymarket on it. So I'm sorry. This was Logan Paul's chance to walk out with a Super Mario Brothers around his neck, and he didn't. He also got powerbombed by iShowSpeed off the top rope onto the Spanish announce table. iShowSpeed, the streamer for children, is apparently also in WWE now. I don't know what's going on.
Okay.
Do you even know who iShowSpeed is?
Not even a little.
He is like one of the biggest streamers in the world, and you have no idea. And he was at WrestleMania. He had like a finishing move, and like he's clearly a wrestler now. It was so fucking weird. I don't know what's going on. It's like Mr. Beast showing up at WrestleMania, dude.
You know, I hate streamer names. I hate internet names. I hate all of it. It's not for me.
All right.
That's why I'm Johnny everywhere. No, I'm not sure. It's like, I don't want to call you iShowSpeed. Give me a fucking break. What's your name? Mark? Okay, Mark. Stop it.
His name is Speed. Come on.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure. Hey, Mr. iShowSpeed, or is it iShow and last name Speed? Oh, Speed first name? So we had it last. I'm not doing that. Just fucking knock it off.
Johnny, what else is going on? That was like some video game collecty stuff that we had going on.
Yeah, we also have news on the Polymega remix.
Oh, no. Fake consoles for emulator people.
Look, I like my Polymega. I'm comfortable with it. Here's what the Polymega remix is, if you're confused. And I know, Tyler, you are in fact confused. So this is basically it's the base unit of the console, essentially.
What's a Polymega?
Okay, but the Polymega is an emulation console which has swappable modules. At its base, it has a CD drive which can play multiple systems like Neo Geo CD, Sega CD, Sega Saturn, PlayStation 1. Not many emulation consoles can play CDs, so this is kind of a big deal. So it's nice for that. You can play TurboGrafx CDs in there as well. Pretty cool. Pretty cool little system. And then the top has these modules you can pop on and off. There's one for Atari, N64, NES, Super Nintendo, Genesis, a bunch of different consoles you can plug into the top. And what you do here is it's emulation, but you would call it controlled emulation because you need to physically own the game and put it in to dump the ROM into the system and then be able to play it. That's how the Polymega works. So you are taking your personal collection and digitizing it. So if the FBI broke into your house and they're like, how do you have all these ROMs? You'd be like, from my own games. And theoretically, that would be fine. It's a fine system. It allows you to play it. There's an app, which then allows you to play your games off the app once you have the ROM downloaded into the app.
No.
So
they're taking my data.
I know. So what the Polymega remix is essentially that base console when you can swap the modules out, but it's not made to plug into your TV. It's made to be plugged into any like Windows 11, Steam, Linux system where you take it and basically you dump that on there and then it pushes the ROM into your app and then the Polymega app can read that, and then you can go use the Polymega app on like a Windows system, a Steam Deck, and play your Polymega games without being attached to your system. So the system just becomes like a dumping station for then you to go take your ROMs and play it, and that's supposed to come out in May.
So it's emulation with a lot of extra expensive, inconvenient steps.
Yep. What's nice for it is if you just own these games and you want, it'll also read the game off the cartridge and play it. You can apply patches directly to your game. So if you're playing like a Super Famicom cartridge, you can put a patch on the basically the on a USB stick. Go stick it in there, and you can patch your games like a language patch. So that's cool. You can play Super Famicom games on it. Cool. It's a cool system. I like it. You can play Japanese PlayStation games. We've done that. Anyways, you like it. Yeah. It's also latest news out of Polymega is they're supposed to the CD drive specifically add 2 more consoles that the system will be capable of playing. The guess right now is Jaguar CD and 3DO being the most likely, but some people are hoping for Commodore CD functionality. We'll see. Some people want CDI, but CDI is really finicky, and emulation for that system has not been great ever. So it's unlikely to be that one because they're probably going to take something with a more polished ecosystem to push in there. And that's why Jaguar CD and 3DO are the most likely. Anyways,
neat, I
that's
guess.
Coming. Yeah. Cool.
I want to like the idea of a device that dumps cartridges. I mean, that is cool. Like we used to have the Retrode, which was like a USB cartridge dumper type deal, and it supported like NES and Game Boy and Super Nintendo, I think. It had like a little USB stick with like 4 different cartridge slots in it. And the ability for people to easily dump cartridges, I do think is valuable. And because we think that like the piracy scene has us covered, everything has already been dumped before, but there are things like different versions of games, or sometimes a game has like an intro or something. Like this is very old, they don't do this anymore, but like an old Commodore 64 game has never been dumped without the intro, and so you need to like dump the cassette with and just have the original data for there. But or like a lot of games have like cracks built into them. I'm talking like old 80s games. And like maybe there needs to be a clean dump of just the data.
I mean, you know me, I'm a pro Polymega guy. I like it. It does for me what I needed to do. It may not be for you if you are a FrameMeister Mr. guy.
No, there's no FrameMeister guys. That's like saying cables. Like, all right, everybody, get off. All in the Family's coming up on ABC, and we all have to get off and watch that, right? No one's a FrameMeister guy anymore.
You say that, but these are old people who like old people things, and maybe they didn't see the point of rebuying new stuff.
That's me.
It's fine. It's fine. Everyone can. You can enjoy. Go play games. I don't really give a fuck, Tyler. Much like you, I don't care how you play games. Just go play some games. All right. If you have the time to be playing games, then do so. I'm jealous of you. I wish I had more gameplay and time. Go do it.
Can somebody make this Polymega thing that will dump magnetic discs, because it's such a huge pain in the ass. Oh my god. If you want to dump like PC-88 games and like X1 games and just like like all these random media, Commodore 64, Apple II, all this shit, it's so finicky and complicated. And like even like, and I've spent hours looking at this stuff, man. Like I've been all up in Greaseweasel, which is like the open source cheap way to dump magnetic media. But no matter what you're dumping, you need a real vintage drive, because they don't make floppy drives anymore. No one has made like a good floppy drive, even for like $1,000. You can't just buy like, oh, the brand new floppy drive that just reads everything. And sometimes, if you're dumping a Japanese PC game, like you can't just have like a 5 1/4-inch floppy drive. Like you might need, I need the NEC FD drive to dump this type of game, but then I need the Panasonic JU drive to dump this type of. It's such a pain in the ass. Somebody make it easy. And I realize no one's going to make it easy because most things that matter have already been dumped. And The people who need to dump discs will just deal with how bullshit everything is now. But oh my God, such a pain in the ass.
This is a pain in the ass.
It's okay.
Nice.
And you know what? We don't need this because real video game preservation is piracy and emulation. So just keep pirating, keep emulating. That's what keeps video games alive. Not games on shelves, not Neo Geo AES pluses at Walmart.
Hey, speaking of preservation, big preservation site, Console Variations is down.
Is that a preservation site?
That's what people say, because you can post basically photos of all your boxes, all the variations, all the consoles. Basically, it's there to document all the variants that you might find. Get all the minutia that comes with games. Was supposed to collect, and you could have a site, and there was a social media aspect to it. And I don't know what happened. I think it came out in like 2018. But recently it just had an attack on it, and servers were brought down. I think they tried to open up a basic version of it, but when I checked, that looked like it was down as well. So I don't know what's going on. There are people who use Console Variations. I've been on there just like image finding when I'm looking for obscure bullshit, because you never know, because it's free. Random people on the internet are dumping stuff on there all the time. So, you could just go back and check. It was a resource that I'm sad to see not being there. And for anybody who used it, it is gone at the moment.
I have no idea what you're talking about. I'm on it right now, and it seems fine.
Is it up? It's probably the old version. They put a stripped version of the site down that was like a much more advanced version of the site that was up. Right. So, anyways, they got hacked.
I appreciate what Console Variations tries to do, and sometimes I just get so if you go on the Atari 2600 section and go to consoles, they have the Atari C100 Pong console listed, which is a dedicated Pong console. It's like, guys, that's not an Atari 2600. Yeah, just organize your stuff a little better. It's the ultimate console database. Let's get this right.
That's what they say. So, anyways, not available at the moment exactly how you'd want it to be.
I think it is. I don't know what's going on in your set.
No, the full old version. Like, you used to be able to upload. They're not going to be uploading stuff anymore. Like, most of the images are gone.
Who's attacking consolevariations.com?
I don't know. Like,
AttackRarityGuide.com or whatever that website is. That site sucks.
Look, man, I don't know who's after this kind of stuff. It's not me. Yeah, that's it, Tyler. That's all the news. That's the whole news episode. We did it.
Okay, cool.
Hey.
Air Raid, by the way, on rarityguide.com. That's a 98% rarity.
Ooh.
New in box, that's worth $28,000. Complete in box, $12,000. These are fantastical prices because there is no new in box copy, and a complete in box is never sold for that little. Where did these prices come from?
I don't know.
All right.
Tyler, if I had a question, though, I might ask the podcast, and we would find that under Ask the Podcast, because it's that part of the show.
You did ask for some new questions, too.
I did. It looked like we were running low.
All right. This is a peaceful asking about a ghost, so I'm pretty sure we did this.
We did that one, yes.
Coey Jesus, who is Tiger Wolf. Tiger Wolf, are you officially changing your name to Coey Jesus?
I'm not uncomfortable with that. You're Tiger Wolf.
There's the Tiger Wolf podcast. I'm pretty sure that's not the Coey Jesus podcast. No. If you were forced to choose a fiction author to write a game story, who would you choose? What type of game would it be?
Well, I think let's just make it a visual novel, right?
No, visual novels are a freaking hassle. You have to click so much to get through them.
But hey, you get 4 frames of animation. That'll be worth it.
I mean, I just consider them an ebook because the animation sucks. They have this kind of, they entice you. They're like, oh, there's going to be visuals to go with this, but and you're like, oh, so it's like a comic book? No, it's not like a comic book. No, it's just you get a little picture of whoever's talking at the time.
It's like a book, but more annoying.
People talk about visual novels sometimes, especially in the weird anime community. What's one Higurashi? That's got a manga, it's got an anime, and it's got a super fucking long visual novel. And there are people who are like, oh, the visual novel's the best. You get all the detail. And the visual novel's like 120 hours long. It's like, I cannot sit here clicking text boxes for 120 hours. If it would, you know, it would be better if they had some, like, if it was concise and it wasn't this Wheel of Time bullshit every time. And with that, I'll say Robert Jordan, the author of Wheel of Time, I think should make an Elder Scrolls type RPG with just fluff everywhere.
He's dead. Well, I mean, how many side quests do you want?
Brandon Sanderson, the new Robert Jordan.
I mean, Brandon Sanderson has the ability to flesh out a new world and also add content, so he might be the perfect answer.
Is there a Cosmere video game, or is there a Cosmere tabletop RPG?
Probably a tabletop RPG.
Okay, yeah, so there's a Cosmere tabletop RPG. That's the Brandon Sanderson universe. That's really weird that there's not a Cosmere video game yet. Just because he's as popular as I think he is, right?
I imagine so. Like, I know people think I'm going to be like Stephen King, but like Stephen King, he doesn't translate as well to all this stuff. I would love to see like a Stephen King, like It RPG.
It RPG.
Yeah. Like an old school, like 16-bit RPG, but It.
I mean, yeah, I get it, but like a Stephen King how much is Stephen King going to improve that?
No, that's what I'm saying. Probably not. He's already wrote the thing. Like this, that's fine. Just do that thing.
I mean, I just want like a Cosmere MMO. I feel like that would be super cool, but like, who cares about the writing in MMOs? People don't even read the writing in MMOs. So let's go with George Orwell, who is the most prescient author of all time. And we're going to have like one of those indie games that's really trying to send a message, like Papers, Please. And we're going to have everyone play that because no one's willing to read Animal Farm or 1984 anymore. But we still need to get those messages out there. So I want the George Orwell Papers, Please. George Orwell might have written Papers, Please. Who knows? But we need something like that.
I now that you've said George Orwell, I want an Animal Farm MMO. And your classes are your animal and the farm is the world.
Sure. All right.
Yeah. All right.
As time marches on, Johnny, I think my favorite book, if you like, gun to my head, my favorite book might have been All Quiet on the Western Front, because I like sad things, and that is just the most depressing book. It's a World War II book, or World War I book, written from the perspective of like a losing German soldier. But man, Animal Farm and 1984 get more relevant every day. So go read 1984 if you weren't forced to read it in high school.
Do you like all this sad stuff just because you didn't cry enough as a kid? Like, what happened?
Yeah, I'm just too happy of a guy, so I need sad media to bring me down.
Yeah, I mean, as a kid, this all stems from our childhoods.
Oh, okay. I mean, that's when we got broken, I guess.
Yeah.
You know, just too happy of a childhood. Just everything just went perfect for me in my life.
Look, I don't know. Who like?
No, it did. I took golf lessons. Like, that stupid life.
Yeah, we were recently at like there was a little party over here that people were talking about their childhoods, and everyone's like, "Well, don't ask Johnny. You'll just get sad." They're like, "Yeah." I'm like, "What?" I enjoyed some things. I didn't know any better. They're like, "Yeah, we had messed up childhoods, but yours was so much worse. Just gonna bring everyone down." I'm like, "Well, I'm not answering." They're like, "Yeah, please don't." I'm like, "Oh God, damn."
Hey guys, don't forget to go back. If you only listen to the Modern Collector's Quest because you go listen to some of those old episodes, and I'm like, "Oh, the audio quality of these aren't very good." Go listen to the Super Nintendo story that Johnny had. Part 1 and 2, our best episode ever.
I think that's like 27 or 8 or something. It's like around there. That's how old it is now.
It is. It's only Johnny, I think. I don't think anyone was on that show with you.
No, it was just me.
It's a little audio book where you could hear how sad Johnny's life story is.
Yeah. Well, like 1 year of it. That was like covered like 2 years or something, 1.5 years. I want to do that as an After Dark where we've listened to an old episode before you, and then talk about how bad I was at it.
That sounds so negative.
That's fine. I mean, I think we can laugh at it. Like, just like the topic, like how wrong were we? How wrong was Johnny? Or did I get anything right?
I am curious about the fluff to content ratio of some of those older, like 17-minute long episodes. Because obviously, when we're doing 2-3 hour episodes, we got a lot of fluff. But like, if you even had like 10 minutes of fluff in a 17-minute episode, it's like, what even is this? There's nothing here.
I think it's a thought experiment. We like pick an episode, we'll go back, we'll listen to it independently, and then we'll come back and we'll talk about it. It's only going to take us 30 minutes to listen to it, so it's not that big a deal.
All right, I like this next question from another sunny afternoon, who is Xenosega. Another one of these things, like, can I call you Xenosega? I know who you are by one name. Don't change your Discord names. You know, I went from default gen to default in some places. I feel like if you truncate it a little bit like that, like, people still kind of know who you are. If Shackfish6 went down to Shackfish, I would be fine with that. But another sunny afternoon, who had a good childhood and is always positive because it's another sunny afternoon, asks, at what point is protective packaging around a shipped game too much? I'm tired of performing surgical removal every time I receive a game. It's becoming more likely I damage a game opening it than it will be damaged during shipping. Better than a bubble mailer, I suppose. I have a lot of thoughts on this, but Johnny, what do you think?
100% agree. Look, people are trying too hard. Like, you cannot stop wrapping games in like 20 layers of bubble and then tight wrapping tape over it. You're just creating pressure on the thing. It's supposed to be loose and like not loose, but like tight, but not too tight. You know, you want bubble wrap on it, but it doesn't need to be adhered to it. I don't want to worry. Like, some people do these layers of tape and I'm like, I got the X-Acto and I'm super worried. I'm like going to cut into the game. Please stop doing that. Like, or they just make it so tight that there's no room. So if any crushing happens, it's just puts pressure on the game and crushes it anyways. I don't think people understand how pressure works, like across an object. When, like, just because you've got bubble wrap does not mean that the internal pressure on the game won't cause crushing.
Don't use tape inside the package. What is going to happen inside this package that the bubble wrap needs to be taped? There's enough stuff in the box that it can't move around anyway. Why are we taping? Let alone, like, some of these people have like multiple layers of tape, like you said. They'll like put something in cardboard, tape around the cardboard, put the bubble wrap on it, tape around that. What do we have all this tape for? The game's not going anywhere.
It's too tight. Like, the multiple layers of packaging and then like them tight taping it because like, I'm keeping it protected. I'm like, you're just crushing it. Stop it.
I don't get it. You know, it doesn't kill me. I don't think my games are getting crushed that much. And you know, if you put it in a bunch of bubble wrap and then put some tape on the bubble wrap because you're misguided, like, fine. I'm used to taking out a knife and cutting through the tape. The thing that really gets me is when people sandwich something between cardboard and put exposed tape around the edges and then the item can stick to the tape. That drives me insane.
They do that with like trading cards, but I've got manuals like that, and like they don't realize that the manual is still sliding around. You're just like, oh my God. Like, put it, like, if you're gonna do that, you have to put it in a bag, because any tape hitting like an exposed manual cover is just not good news.
Even when it's in a bag, I get a little annoyed, but like, I get DVDs like that all the time, and it's like, I have to like surgically remove this packing tape with Bestine or whatever, and it's just like, why is opening my mail have to become a 15-minute process because you didn't know how to actually package something?
Agree, yeah.
And also, I remember there was this guy, this was probably 6 years ago at this point, maybe. We found, like, he had a stash of the first magazine that ever mentioned NES or something. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Or it was like the first official or unofficial Nintendo magazine, and he had like the first issues of that, and that guy sent out all the copies of that with this like sandwiched cardboard with packing tape around it. And of course the spine of mine got stuck against the packing tape and ripped a little bit. So
obviously
I just get pissed off at that so much.
Also, another thing I hate, just like when people do use a bubble mailer and then they put a bunch of like bubble around it and then tape it hard. That doesn't do anything. Please stop it. It doesn't do anything.
When they put
not helping
bubble wrap around a bubble mailer? What are you talking about?
No, they put like the game in some bubble and then they shove it in a bubble mailer. Like that's going to protect it. And you're just like, no, that's not how that works.
I don't even know what you're talking about.
So imagine a Super Nintendo game. Imagine
Boxed?
putting a boxed game, yes.
Okay.
Put some bubble wrap on it.
Oh, okay. So we're shipping a cardboard box in 2 levels of bubble wrap and no box, as if that's going to save it. Okay.
Yes, all the time. You're just like, no, stop it. What kills me is because it's already going to go package rate. What are you saving? 40 cents? I will pay the difference.
It is.
I will pay the difference.
Oh, in more news we didn't talk about, USPS rates are going up by some percent.
Temporarily.
Temporarily until September, at which point they'll become permanent. There's a temporary increase, 8% in USPS, starting probably the day that you're hearing this podcast, so you're too late. I did kind of FOMO list a bunch of stuff I had sitting around on eBay. I'm like, oh, maybe I could save 8% on this. I think people are crazy with how much they cheap out on shipping. Johnny, I ship everything you get from me ships in a brand new box. Because I don't want your like beaten down Amazon box that was like, it already didn't have enough stuff shipped in it originally, so it's like crushed on the top. I'll give you a brand new box. Because you know what that costs me? For a smaller box, probably like 80 cents. I don't even charge you for it. I just want to make sure you get the thing.
Look, you know me. I'm a fan of reusing boxes because there's so much waste already. We're already creating so much waste. Can we?
I mean, you're right. I don't get enough mail to reuse cardboard boxes, but I like having the exact right size. And when I was just like reusing boxes, I did that a lot in like high school. I would have all these crazy sizes.
Yeah.
What I never want to do is I don't want to be the guy who is like, oh, this 3DO game like almost fits into this box. Like if I don't put any packaging on the top and bottom, like I don't want to be that guy. I want to make sure that everything has 100% enough packaging. Me. And you know how many eBay sellers are like me? None. Zero.
Yeah. No, you ship exceptionally well. All right. Have we answered this question? Are we good?
All right. We've answered this question. Is that the second question? That's the second question, Johnny.
So now we're talking about what we're buying and what we're playing. Tyler, what did you play and what did you buy?
Johnny, I'm done buying video games. Come on. What are you talking about?
I don't think that's true.
I think it's true. We're done. I've peaked. I got my I wrote out like 200 games in a want list. I prioritized them, and now I got all the ones that are pretty much gettable. And the ones that are still on the list are like a Calibeth. And I was like, well, I'm never going to own an original copy of a Calibeth for the Apple II, a game there's like 20 copies of.
You say that, but you just got a game you thought you would never get.
I did. So I did buy something. I bought something at a somewhat ridiculous price. This is kind of a unstoppable force meets immovable object scenario. I have spoken about this before as I think one of the cooler things you could get that is not a video game. Johnny, I got a first print Minecraft gift card.
Oh, yeah.
A used gift card in not superb condition.
Did you confirm it was the first print?
I did. Well,
oh, good.
Yeah, I did. I'm pretty sure it is. It has orange. The price is in orange, and the Mojang at the bottom is also in orange, and it's just a picture of Steve with some of the monsters behind him. There's a lot of variants of the Minecraft gift card. So the first Minecraft gift cards from 2011, they just have Steve on them and the monsters behind him, and then the Mojang logo is in orange. And then the second print ones, they'll just have that same picture of Steve, and the Mojang logo will be in a black bar on the bottom. Either one of these is super hard to find, because you know what? People don't sell old or used gift cards. You want to talk about collectible? This is actual trash.
Okay, well, tell me how jealous Josh Barley is. So tell me.
I'll bring up the conversation. I'm sorry, Josh, if I'm using your reaction for content here. All right. I sent him a picture of it, and I said, I misplaced my notes. Is this a first print Minecraft gift card? And he said, damn, I think you got one. And he said, and I told him I paid $125. And he said, I think that's a fair price since they don't fucking exist. And he responded. I didn't tell you his compliment. He said, I think Johnny's Carnival Massacre game is the best game I've ever seen, though.
Oh, well, I'm about to get to that.
So, Johnny, this is the first physical artifact of how you could buy Minecraft. I think this and the PC Gamer demo disc, which is also from around this time. Those are the best Minecraft things. I've said it a lot, but Minecraft Xbox 360 edition does not feel like the real version of Minecraft to me. And even then, I still think that's something just because of how important Minecraft is as a game. I think Minecraft is... Your son is obsessed with Minecraft.
This guy found this...
The beta was released in like 2009, and your son is obsessed with Minecraft, and those ages should not overlap.
Yeah. So
he's not obsessed with Gears of War 2 or whatever else came out in 2009.
He does not give a shit about that. He likes Pokemon and he likes Minecraft.
Crazy.
This is definitely a guy who was cleaning out his desk drawer and found this thing.
He knew what I can't believe he knew what it was. He had it listed for $200. He was like, this is for serious collectors. This is a 2011 Minecraft gift card. Who is looking? There were like 6 or 7 people watching this item. Who besides me and Josh were looking for this?
I don't want to sell it, but rent money is needed, so I'm hoping to get something out of it.
I was like, I'm kind of looking at like $200. I'm like, considering it. I'm like, I can't do this to myself. So I put it on the watch list, and within like 4 hours, it was like 37% off. I'm like, all right, I guess I'm doing this to myself.
You're not going to see another one, and $200 is not enough money for you to give a shit about.
Yeah, I figure like if I ever. And I at the time, I hadn't even like really figured out if it was the first print. I was like pretty sure it was the first print, but I just bought it. I'm like, you know what? If I have to, I could resell this for $100 to some other crazy person. I'm positive.
Josh would give you $100.
Yeah.
I'll give you $100.
That's my cool thing.
Right yeah. Did you play any games?
Yeah, Johnny, I played Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020. I was flying around America looking for some mountain towns that might be nice to retire to.
Cool. Great. Good news.
What are you buying?
Well, Tyler, I bought a couple games from Video Games Plus, not sponsored though. Could be all the money I spend with them sometimes. I bought dumb Halloween games. I bought a copy of Terrifier. Cool, huh? The arcade game. Arcade.
Wait, is
based
this
off the movies?
Movie?
Yes.
Wait, there's a video game based. I thought that movie was like pretty small.
Look, it's got multiple sequels. They made a game, and I was like, okay.
That movie feels like a Shudder original. Like the budget was like $2 million. It's an indie movie. What is the budget? The budget was $50,000.
Look, I don't understand what's happening.
Crazy.
I bought it. Okay.
I'm getting my mind blown by Terrifier here. Terrifier 3's budget was $2 million. Terrifier 3 made $90 million. Terrifier 4 is in development. That's not surprising. The people love creepy clown movies.
They do, and they shouldn't.
Weird. All right, cool.
Yeah. So I bought that, and then I bought a game called Feardemic. It's a horror bundle. It's you know how horror movies have anthologies? Well, apparently the games do too. So this is like a little bundle, and it's available on the Switch and the PS5, and it has 3 games in it, each which you can kind of get on their own. Dagon, which is the one I'm excited about because that's Lovecraft. No Son of Mine, and Burnhouse Lane. Tyler, the real thing I bought was Carnival Massacre. So we were doing our R10 episode for Atari, and we were looking into the R9s, and I saw this R9 called Carnival Massacre, and I was like, oh, that sounds like a game that I could put on the Halloween list. And I looked at the cover, and I was like, I don't know if it exactly qualifies, but the cover of this game is so amazing. It is 2 kids on a roller coaster, and the track has been blown up, and they are plummeting to their death, and they are screaming. They are dying, Tyler. And that's what the game is. There is, in some versions, it's like a grandmother. In some versions, it's like a psycho killer, a loose criminal who is like throwing bombs at the Ferris wheel and at the roller coaster, and kids are flying off to their death, and you have to catch them before they die.
Cool.
That's the game. And this is definitely a game that could not be made like this today, except there is a game called Carnival Massacre on Steam right now, which is not the same game.
You see, that's not interesting. The interesting part is that who would buy a game called Carnival Massacre for their kids? And you know, before you answer, I know you people in Europe and like your dollar store Commodore 64 games and all that, like you had like the most horrific games over there. You have a completely different culture. Here, where we wanted to ban Dungeons and Dragons, I don't think that the moms were buying Carnival Massacre for their kids.
Yeah.
That's why you had to go to the back of the video store behind the saloon doors to get your copy of Chiller for NES.
Yeah. The slogan for this game is excellent. Fun turns to fear. Yeah, I would say that these kids should be afraid. They are definitely dead. 100% dead. Anyways, this is for the Atari computer. It's a cartridge too. It's not even a disc. It's an Atari 400 or 800 or 1200 computer cart. So real weird.
And so somebody put this into the rarity guide for some reason in like 2004. And Johnny is actually the first person to think about this video game since 2004.
And I bought the only copy that was on eBay. I'm like, I just looked at the title. I was like, I wonder what that looks like.
Because who's looking for it?
And there was a copy on sale. I was like, oh, yeah, I'll buy it, I guess.
So the weirdest part about this game is that there are a couple of videos of it on YouTube. One is from 8 years ago. It has 138 views. 138 views in 8 years. And there's one comment, absolute classic from my childhood.
Who are you, my guy? Where this was a classic from your childhood.
Dude, I don't know. That's crazy.
Yeah, this is it's a wild cover. Yeah. I don't know. Cool game. Cool game. That's the thing about that Josh Byerly says is the best game he's seen probably this year. So
best game
and
ever.
He didn't know it exists. Like this thing. Is it really an R9? I guess. I don't know. Who knows?
Who else has one? Do you guys have one? Sounds like an R9 to me.
I'd never heard of this game. You'd never heard of this game. Josh Byerly had never heard of this game. I would say between us, our breadth of knowledge on video games, pretty wide net. Yeah. I'm sure there's going to be someone on the Discord who's like into old Atari shit. That's going to be like, actually, and cool. Tell me about this game.
Milwaukee Retro Gamer is going to post his copy. Like, I was collecting the Atari.
Tell me about
XE
this
set
classic from your childhood, please. So
we're giving Josh so many shout outs this episode. Go to videogamecollectors.net. There is a new episode of the Video Game Collectors podcast. The first one in around 4 months, I think.
Yep. And be sure to look for Josh Byerly, Wafflefoot on Whatnot. And
in the last episode, he said he's like sick of eBay. And he said something like he only wants to sell on Whatnot, which I think is crazy. But I mean, I guess he does well enough on Whatnot that it must be easier than listing on eBay.
Well, yeah, I think you get less because you're showing it. I think you just get less pushback and like returns on items because you're showing exactly the thing. And like, you're not like faceless buyers. You're engaging with them in a chat as you sell it.
So he's like me. If somebody is like trying to return something and is clearly bullshit, he just accepts the return and deals with it and relists it. Whereas you would fight them. No,
I wouldn't. Look, if it's a return situation, if I sell something you want, just return it. I'm not going to sit there and fight you. I'm going to tell you I don't fucking believe you because I don't accept bullshit. Like, but I always, when I sell something on eBay, which is very rarely, I always just have an open return policy. Just return it.
I do too, because even if I didn't have an open return policy, eBay basically does anyway.
Yeah, that's why it's like all buyer has to say is not as described. They don't give a shit. Did I tell you guys on the podcast about some fucking weird scam that I was implicated into?
Which weird?
Okay, so this fucking wild. Happened a couple of days ago. It was right after it was Monday, like a week ago. Anyways, I am home. I'm working. Dude comes up to the door, and I'm like, okay. I'm like just finishing a meeting, about to go on lunch. I'm like, fine. I'll go down, I answer the door, and it's like, hey, what can I do for you? he's like, okay, are you Johnny Ayuchi? And I'm like, you are at my door. Yeah, I am. What can I do for you? I'm getting annoyed because I think he wants to sell me solar panels or something. Mind you, I have solar already, and that did not stop two people previously that week from coming to my door and knocking on it, trying to sell me solar panels while they are gigantic and on the front of my house and easily in view. Anyways, he's like, okay, so I bought a PS5 on eBay and it's shipping to your house. And I just looked at it. I'm like, why did you choose to ship a PlayStation 5 to my house? He's like, no, I didn't. The eBay seller is sending it to your house, but I think it's a scam. I'm like, why is the eBay seller sending it to my house? How would he even get my address? What is this? And it's basically a scam in which people have started doing, and it's a tracking number scam. I don't know how my tracking number. So here's the thing. The tracking number that they give him is for an actual package that I have coming to my house. So how is tracking numbers for my packages out in the world? Like, are my tracking numbers on the dark web? Was this the company that shipping me the item, which was Wizards of the Coast, obviously? Has there been a breach there and they just have a list of tracking numbers and cities where things are going? But they had it shipping to me. So it was a PS5 coming to me with a tracking number, which was an actual order from Wizards of the Coast for a secret layer I purchased, which was under £1. So they had it just listed as £1. I'm like, well, a PS5 is not £1. And this is an actual tracking number to an order I purchased before you purchased this thing. I purchased this back on April 1st and your thing says like April 7th. No PS5 is going to be, £1. That's just not happening. And he was like, okay, well, can I come get the package when it comes and open it? I'm like, no, that is my mail. You absolutely cannot. Yeah. So here's the thing, because eBay doesn't look very hard. This guy also lived in the same city as me. They just see delivered in the city that it was supposed to be. And that's it. eBay is good with that. Like if you contest it, it's like, no, it says delivered. They don't do an actual physical address match. They just check city until you have to show them that the address was mismatched. I mean, I knew it was coming in the mail that Monday. I went and I did a whole video of me walking up to my mailbox, taking it out of the mailbox, opening it. And I sent it to the guy and showed the tracking number, and he wound up getting his refund. But it's just a wild thing that can even be happening. Also, the dude's name is Sergey. So a Russian dude comes to my door and it's like a scam. I'm just like, I'm involved in a weird Russian scam, at my actual front door. This is only supposed to happen online. What is going on?
All right. So, another reason for me not to move to California, Johnny.
I think this is a thing that happens other places too.
I bet people in North Dakota are not dealing with door-to-door weird scams like this.
Look, man, you got a lot of cheek. That's all I got to say. You're always talking about how bad California. Dude, you live in North Carolina.
North Carolina is the most middle of the road state in the entire country in every way. What do you mean?
When was the last time you had a Nazi rally?
We have a Democratic governor, I'll have you know very much. We're a purple state.
When? Please.
I mean, the last time was
not that.
I don't keep track of the schedule.
Yeah, not that long ago. Okay, that's
California's a big state too, Johnny.
Yeah, it's gigantic. That's what I'm saying. People talk about California like it's this monolith of a place. Bro, we're
it's bigger than the rest of the country. Almost.
It's gigantic. It's the 5th largest economy in the world. The square footage on it is crazy. We're a huge state. You could go different in the Central Valley. You have it's completely red. And then you get the lower coast, and you have San Francisco area. You get it's fully Democrat. I don't want to get into the politics of it, but California is a big place full of a lot of different things. You have every kind of thing you could want is in California. So talking about it as one whole thing, or people think it's only Hollywood, and I don't know. The way when you are from California and you hear the way people talk about California who have never been here and don't understand exactly how large it is, it's a weird thing. Anyways,
I can imagine.
That's what happens.
I think a lot of people who talk about California have never been there, Johnny, but I have been there numerous times.
But what parts have you been to?
Let me tell you about my least favorite place on earth, San Jose, California, the worst city in America.
Not a nice place, San Jose. Anyway.
Johnny, I had something to follow up. We were talking about scams, eBay. We missed a big news item. I don't know if this is a big news item. eBay auction winners can no longer cancel orders.
Oh, yeah. Is that a big deal?
Some people were talking about it like it was a big deal. I even saw a couple of YouTube videos from trading card people about how, this is going to change how sports cards shill bidding works. I don't think in a vacuum, it seems like, this is great. If somebody shills up a thing, they have to buy it now. There's no backing out. In reality, it's going to be the same thing it is now, where if somebody doesn't want to buy it, they're going to message the seller and be like, hey, you need to cancel this from your side. Or if you ship it to them anyway, they're going to give you an item not as described. And it's going to be the same thing. Like maybe it does something, but in reality, it's going to lead to more item not as described returns, which eBay always allows.
Here is my opinion of everything that eBay does. eBay will act in its own best interest, not in the best interest of the people using eBay. So they will package something to look like a win for the air quotes community, and really it's just a win for eBay.
I guess the one kind of maybe positive thing about this is that eBay will remove negative feedback you receive if you refuse to cancel an order. So that's something, I guess.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know.
They're protecting auction integrity is what they said in the email.
Okay, well, you know what? eBay needs to redo its whole feedback system. Hey, eBay, Johnny here from the Collector's Quest podcast with some notes to you. And people think like, okay, that doesn't matter. I have gotten eBay to... Part of discussions I had with eBay got them to change their fucking feedback system after a dumb change they made. So it can happen. You can make them. I wound up having corporate level conversations with eBay at one point, like 15 years ago, which was a weird thing. It was when they made the neutral feedback change, and then neutral feedbacks were being calculated, because it was just a counting stat. It was just like, okay, you have 3 neutral feedbacks and 2 negative feedbacks, and you have 100 feedback total. So you have a 95% positive feedback rate, which is true, but your neutrals were then hurting you. They were counting against you instead of counting as nothing.
Which they should. Sorry, that's how all metrics work. If you get a survey from tech support and you give them an 8 out of 10, that's a 0, my friend. Don't give your tech support guys an 8 out of 10 unless you hate them.
Yeah. So anyways, here's my suggestion, eBay. Do the thing that Mercari kind of does, and give everyone a positive feedback. Like if 3 weeks go by and a feedback has not been left, just give it a generic positive feedback. That way people's feedback numbers climb. And then when people do write something that it has a little bit more weight, I'm okay with that. And please give sellers the ability to leave negative feedback again. Obviously, it can be reviewed and contested, but I think some buyers are predatory. Everyone's worried about the dreaded partial refund, and I hate when I'm in a position where someone is asking me, do you want me to give you a partial refund? It's like, I'm not trying to scam you. I just want to return. Most of the time, I just want to return the item, and I'm mad as shit about it. Don't put us in this position. Let buyers have the ability to say what their actual experience is, and sellers too, and stop doing the thing where if you have a item not as described claim, eBay buyer protection suddenly protects everybody and just removes the negative feedback from the scammers as well. No, don't do that. Leave the negative feedback there so everyone can see who the scammer is. On buyer and seller side, please let the feedback be informative.
Johnny, I think this notion comes 25 years too late to ever change how eBay fundamentally works. I think the only reason eBay even works is that most people are fundamentally good and trustworthy people, and that's it. If you want to scam someone on eBay, you could pretty much scam someone on eBay.
Oh yeah, for sure.
So I don't know how they're going to fix it. It's fine. I mean, it's just like how if you open a retail store, you have to build in you're going to lose some small percentage to shrinkage from people stealing stuff. And it's just the same thing on eBay. You're going to have some amount of shitty buyers and you just have to deal with it.
Yeah. I mean, you should expect, 10% of whatever you make into loss.
I mean, that sounds like a lot. I think that's a good percent. Just 10% you're going to lose from shitty people.
All right, that's it. That's the episode. We did it. How long did we drag this dumbass episode out, Tyler? Did
Somehow
we
2 hours. Didn't even really have a topic.
We're the worst at this. Just
These are just a bunch of yappers.
We are. All right, Tyler. That's it for the episode. Hey, everybody. Thanks for listening. Oh my God, we forgot to say the best thing we saw in the Discord. Doesn't matter. It was Galdius. Whatever it was probably Galdius. If you want to be able to ask questions and have us potentially look at the cool stuff you bought, you can do so by joining our Discord through Patreon. Go to patreon.com/collectorsquest, and for $4, you can join up if you want. If not, don't do it and just keep listening how you are. Doesn't matter. Tyler will tell you not to give us money. That's it. That's the show. Thanks so much for listening. We appreciate you, and you are very helpful, and we hope to see all of you beautiful faces at Midwest. Bye!
Ruben got Madden 09, the breast cancer version for the Wii.
Oh, yeah.
He's posted cool Wii
one.
games. Wait, did we even talk about it? He also got the Club Penguin for the Wii, which I think is like a genuinely
God, Ruben
cool
wins
video
collecting.
game.
Ruben, at the end, you win.
Woo!
You have a Wii item I'm jealous of. Good
I know,
job,
right?
Dude.
I'm not jealous of the Madden. I don't care about that, but the Club Penguin I think is so cool.
Club Penguin is cool. Yeah.
I think there was like 500 of those made internally for Club Penguin employees. That's awesome.
And we have Chris who can talk about it. Like, well, we have someone on our Discord here who's like, yeah, I was involved with that. Like, man, what a good little resource.